everybody. I'm here today with Karessa Fonseca, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the Wholistic Mercado that takes place here in El Paso.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here. Congratulations on the launch of your magazine as well.
Thank you.
The Wholistic Mercado. Wholistic Mercado is definitely one of my passion projects. We started about 17 months ago. And what it is, it's sort of like a farmer's market, but I usually do it inside. But it's sort of like a farmer's market type of event where we have over 25 collaborators from within our own community actually come together for about every 6 weeks. And all of them have some sort of holistic health focus. So for example, we have body workers and energy workers and crystals and essential oils and all those things that maybe a lot of people think about when they think of holistic or spiritual. So we have a lot of those things. But then we also have other things that are amazing, such as, for example, if you're familiar with the Green Ingredient here in El Paso, they do vegan cheeses and other vegan goods. They're amazing. We have people like that come through. We have some baked goods that are Ayurvedic, so Ayurveda is sort of the sister science to yoga. And so if you've ever heard the phrase, food is medicine, that's actually from thousands of years ago from Ayurveda. And so we have, actually out of Las Cruces, she comes in from Las Cruces and does baked goods and does drinks of that variety. So that's sort of the setup for our collaborators and sort of some of the things that they do. And then beyond that, we always have sort of a stage/mic lineup. And in that, we always open up with a sound bath. So if you've never done a sound bath and you want to try that out, it's included in when you come in by Cesar Lujan with instruments of healing usually. So we usually have a sound bath. We have local musicians performing live. And then sometimes we have spoken word.
I was gonna say I was there one time and I saw that. Yeah.
Okay,
cool.
I have a local documentary lined up for one of the mercados too that I have permission to show. And then also we have educational presentations and demos. So for example, Green Ingredient will be doing another food demo for us this time. We've had a gentleman come through and do like a self-defense class for us. I myself have done a yoga class for us before. And so I feel like it's a really nice sort of addendum to all of the collaborators, right? And so those are going on in tandem. It's usually a 5-hour event.
Where did you get the idea to start this in the first place?
So the vision of this has actually been in my heart for a long time, of just bringing resources together. When I lived in Tucson and I started my own sort of holistic wellness journey, I was a veterinary anesthetist at the time, and none of my friends were into this. But I was in a catalyst moment and I knew I needed to sort of take charge of my mind. And so I had to sort of muster up the courage and find these different places and groups and events and activities to go to. And fortunately I was able to do it, but I know the experience of that unnerved sort of feeling of going by yourself to something, and some of these things sound a little weird or different, right? 17 months ago, if we think back to where we were in that COVID life, we were already into it over a year. And I feel that many people at a certain point started realizing that the tools that they were used to, if they had any tools that they were used to using to stay well, just weren't quite cutting it anymore. As we remember, domestic violence and all these things went up. And so then I realized that was the time, that vision that was in my heart, it was time to bring it into fruition. And so my intention was to provide a space where people can go, where there's a lot of different tools available, a lot of different modalities represented, and that it's a sacred space. So like if you come once, I've had many people, whether it's community members or whether it's collaborators that do some of the other farmers markets in town, they're like, it just feels so different. And I'm like, well, what do you feel? What is it? They're like, I don't know. It's almost like love. And I'm like, it is. That is what you're feeling. And so that's what everybody's bringing when they come as collaborators or participate in the mercado in some way. And I love that because it creates a space where we feel okay to go and have a conversation with a stranger, to ask some questions and to learn about different resources that are available within our own amazing community to keep us well. In addition to the collaborators, we have the demonstrations and the presentations, and I think all of it together just sort of flows and weaves into this thing that feels more like I have friends here, like I have family, even though I don't know these people. You'll see kids usually running around and things of this nature. And so, yeah, that's the reason why it started was COVID happened, and I've had this in my heart for a while.
Yeah. And then one thing I did like when I went there is just all the different services that are there. I saw everything. When I first walked in, I wasn't sure what I was going to see, to be honest with you. And I showed up and they had like body workers in one corner. They had someone selling coffee, and there were like baked goods and oils, stones, like our crystals. There's like so many different things there. So I did like the variety that I saw when I showed up.
Yeah, and thank you for noticing in that. And that is one of my intentions, because I understand there's many different tools. Not every tool is going to be for everybody. There's some things that I've heard about that I've just never had an interest in. Who knows, maybe in the future I will. And then that's the other thing, there's tools for different moments. So I feel like my personal toolkit's pretty well stocked, but I'm not using all those tools all the time. You know, there's my foundations, my go-tos that I use on the regular, but it's really nice to know that when more life happens, more unexpected life happens, that there is a whole arsenal back there that I can pull and reach into to assist myself to stay well.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.